What's happening, guys? Dan here. D's Peach Shop, man. 55 Nomad. Damn, this thing looks good. Anyway, we've been doing a lot of work on this thing. And yesterday, no bones about it, I was a little burnt out on it, a little cranky. I was like, I'm gonna take a break from this thing. Well, as always, you have a little nap and you wake up the next day, you know, belly full of good dinner. You're like, I do gotta clean up in here. My rationale was tow this thing out, bring that old Camaro in, and I just got so much junk over there. We got a pile of garbage. And I'm like, I was gonna clean up and all that today, but I'm like, you know what, really, at this point, this thing needs ignition, fuel lines ran, some electrical. I mean, we're there. The biggest hurdle was the rad not fitting, and it kind of, you know, pissed me off a little bit yesterday. No one's about it. But I think we can tackle a lot of this stuff today. The rest of the car is basically done. And I mean, if I'm gonna put it outside or anything, I gotta put the hood on. Well, now I'm screwing around with the hood on it. It's just, you know, buckle down, we'll make it happen. Now, I've made a few small changes to the plan from the last video. A lot happens in 12 hours. Ignition, I think I'm just gonna run an HEI. So I just painted the cap black. It's sitting on the vise there. Instead of running this little deal, nothing wrong with this. I don't think I have a coil wire, and then I gotta find a coil, and then all those, like a proper mount, all those little things, which are a bit of a hassle. To change the distributor is like an hour anytime down the road. And I do want to change this intake because I'm not a huge fan of A, how it looks, and B, probably how it will perform in this exact setup. So I'll toss that HEI in there. It is definitely tight to the firewall. The other thing to an HEI versus this style, if you ever have an ignition problem on the road, and let's be honest, I do want to take this thing on a road trip at some point. Man, cap rotor for any HEI is like super common. This being it's a knockoff MSD, not even a real MSD. You know, to find some parts and stuff like that, you're probably more limited to like a Summit or a Jags or a Speed Shop or something like that along the way, which isn't terrible. Or it's going to break down and you're going to end up putting in a standard HEI distributor. So I'm going to do that. We'll see how tight it is, and hopefully it can kind of get around and be okay. It feels like there's a lot more room in here. I don't know why, just by cleaning stuff up and kind of moving a few things around. I do want to tackle the wiring. I do want to put new proper battery cables in. This is all just kind of junk and stuff I had to make it run at the time. But now let's put the proper things in. So I'm going to go ahead and start working and mostly making a list, and then we'll head out to the parts store, get a few things, you know, re-terminal the battery. We got to paint the battery tray. Just kind of go through a few little odds and ends. There shouldn't be that much. The big one's going to be the radiator. And I don't know what I should do there. If I should just mount to the existing one and run forward, which I probably should, but this does feel like it's a little bit wider. Because we're lined up on this side, and it's hanging over by a 1/4 inch on this side. So I might just weld a piece to the car itself, give it a quick spritz of black paint, and kind of call her a day. I do like the aluminum radiator, I'm not gonna lie. I think it actually kind of suits the car. There's a lot of chrome in the front. The carburetor's chrome, the Velcro, all that stuff. It all just kind of works, so I think we're gonna leave that. Hoses, I do gotta get a lower radiator hose for sure. Make sure the one I have for the top is long enough, a trim to fit. We gotta get a belt. We gotta make sure this alternator setup, when I did it before, it was real janky. Not like me, right? I want to get that done properly, proper belt on it, and then buy 2 belts, have one as a spare, toss it in the tire well, just because this thing, if it's got a clickety-clack fuel pump, and a HEI distributor, which should never fail, but if you do, you toss a spare one in there, a spare alternator, a spare belt, you're getting where you're going. Like, it needs very, very little. It's a brand new water pump, maybe toss a spare one in there if you want. Overkill radiator. It does have just the cheap Chinese fan it came with. I would like to mount this Delta fan in there, but this is a 16-inch fan, and I think we're limited top to bottom because it has to be on the 6-cylinder position. So I think I may order myself a proper 16-inch Delta fan, and we can just simply replace it, and then we'll have, you know, a real hot rod. But that being said, you know, I'm a believer in that thing, so I think it'll last forever. And it's, you know, New York taxi cabs use them. this will be fine. It'll cool the car, and there's no doubt this thing is just a bone stock 327. We're not beating on it. We're not doing a whole lot. It's just hours of service. This one will crap out in North Carolina in the middle of a Sunday during power tour, whereas the other one will not. Okay, well, let's start making a list, and then you know what? I think we're just going to start tackling the radiator because that's going to be the biggest hassle. And maybe an hour or two, go run out, get a few bits and pieces, see what we end up with. Hopefully this thing is running driving by the end of, I want to say day, but the end of the video. Okay, so here's what we're going to end up with. It's a little meh. I just kind of cut a couple of plates. I just kind of sandwich everything together. I'll just kind of push it back and we will weld that in. So I think, yes, I had to take the horns off, I took the hood latch off and all that. So yeah, I think I'll just kind of give her a, what are we going to do, mark it? I guess I got to move it over just a little bit. We'll kind of clean it up a little bit, give her a couple of buzzes. We're going to undo the radiator, it's just 4 bolts. Take that out, you know, weld it on the inside maybe so it looks a little nicer. And then, you know, kind of round the edges, just give it a little, you know, a little nice touch. We'll fog it black, and then it's basically ready to go back together. And then, you know, everything should work out just fine. I've got to make sure I lift it just a little bit because it has to fit, you know, rad hose has to fit on top there. So, yeah, maybe I'll just put a rad hose on there and like a little, like double it. So it just has that little bit up and kind of carry on. We may have to deal with something on the front here. Yeah, this bar might have to be slightly modified, I forget. Many a time have I put a radiator in the front, so it's not too big of a deal, I think, I hope. Anyway, we'll figure it out. That's what it was from factory. If you would have had the inline 6, the motor would go right up, and actually the fan would be spinning inside, basically, the kind of the opening for the shroud. But we're not going to bugger it up. It'll stay factory and go from there. Then we got all sorts of room there, so we carry on 4 bolts and come out, and it's just the way it's going to be. So let's carry on. I'll get this dialed together, and then I think just parts list time. Probably run out, get something to eat, and spend a bunch of money. Never ends. A little ways later, so we ran out. Princess Auto did a run of miscellaneous parts. Actually, the guy sent us a gift card, so we went and spent a bunch of that. Came back, and I mean, I got the radiator in. We got it full of water, coolant, so that's good. But the belt, you can see here, like the water pump is not in line with the crank at all. It's sticking way out, and that is the pulley that was on whatever water pump, that water pump. So I don't know what the heck's going on there, but I had a couple sitting on the wall, and this one looks to be that, and this one is slightly further, like it's, I don't know if it'll show up on camera or not, but it should put it deeper. Mm-hmm. So if I do that, then it should put everything in line, but I don't understand.
Is it a big deal if it's not in line?
Well, yeah, it's not great. It'll toss belts, and it's just wrong. So that's different. I don't really understand why. Now, hopefully this one's not too long and rubs the water pump or anything. I guess we'll figure that out. But I can't imagine why it would be like that. There was no spacer. There was no.
It just sticks out more than the thing below it.
Well, it's not in line with the crank or the alternator. So you can see the belt's kind of curving in. So it should be in line, which it is currently not. So I mean, this is fine to drive it around to the next, like, you know, the other garage and stuff, but it's wrong. So we'll get that done. Otherwise, I'm just kind of hook up the fuel. Got to drop the distributor in it, run some plug wires. I got some plug wires inside. I've got to go get those. And it should be a runner. Put the battery tray in. So it's just kind of a little screwing around, and then I'm gonna make. Did you show the people this fancy radiator there? It's weird though, it came with it, but it's like a 19-pound cap, so that's, when it's overheating, it's gonna be really overheating. So what I did, I bought a fuse, but I like this kit here. It's like there's little lug ends or whatever, so I got, well, I'm out of the big ones, but you make your own. I just got welding cable, cheapest way to make battery cables. So we'll do that. We're gonna make our own custom ones. So that'll be pretty slick. And then, yeah, we should be Do I have? Oh yeah, I got a couple in there. Battery terminals. Really, it's just kind of that. Wire it.
Have you been having a better relationship today with the Nomad?
Today it's been it pissed me off a little bit less, but this is like, I really don't understand the water pump situation. Because that is...
you can see it from this angle way better than it's...
Yeah, it's dead wrong.
Coming like this way.
But that's the right water pump, and it's the same pulley that was on the other one. So I don't understand, unless that one's just shorter somehow. I mean, it kind of looks like it actually, that one sticks out further. Well, yeah, we'll take this apart and we'll do a little diagnoses and see what the deal is, because that's strange. And when I run that part number, it crosses to that part number. So unless that one was built wrong, I mean, I don't know. This is a slightly different version, but this is the part number it's used forever. And as far as I know, GM has long water pump, short water pump. That's a short water pump. So I hate short water pump stuff. I hate it.
Hey, don't get mad at the shotties.
It drives me nuts. Okay, let's pull this apart. We'll do a little, we'll check, and if it's good, we'll paint that, whatever, pulley, and see what we end up with. So we'll be right back after these messages from ddSpeedShop.ca.
What's the message?
Buy a shirt. Buy now!
Available in US and Canada. Both locally made per country.
We'll see right away. So this one definitely does look like it kind of sticks out a little more. Let's see if we can get some sort of a accurate-ish. So, I don't know, 5 3/4 maybe. This one's, yeah, 5 1/4. Weird. I don't know what that's all about. Never, you can just see like the end sticks out more. Well, let's, where to put that other pulley? Put that on and see if it'll lig up. This is one I was obviously modifying to do something with. I had weld all over it. What I was trying to accomplish at some point. Hopefully it doesn't rub in anything, which it probably will. Oh, maybe not. We need a hammer. Well, that should line up.
Definitely better, it looks like.
Yeah. So we'll tighten that in, see if it'll straighten up. I don't think this thing is bent. Looks okay. I think it's just kind of whatever. Unfortunately, now putting the bolts in when you can't see it because of the... Damn it, Wartsky, with your scraper. I can't be a better hammer. So... yeah, I think it's okay. I'll give this a quick wipe down of paint and put that on, but that's strange. I guess if we go on a road trip, mental note, we'll toss a different pulley in there in case we have to buy a water pump that's shorter. I don't know if that's a one-off or what. I've never seen that before, so... oh well, hopefully it works. We're done filming here. Okay, so while we're waiting for that pulley to dry, we're gonna make some cables. So the way Tri-Fives work is actually the ground cable bolts right here to the firewall. And we're gonna go ahead and make a cable that'll go from that, and then I'm gonna go right to the frame. And then up here, I'm gonna go from the frame to the engine block. So, big believer in grounds. They save you all sorts of headaches and, you know, diagnosing issues and stuff like that. So, when in doubt, put a ground on. So the way these work is very simple. I'm gonna make these slightly different size-wise, but...
oh yeah, I've seen you do this before.
yeah, I do this all the time. Almost every car. Come on. You know, we need a square tank. So I can just kind of hold this like that. So, I don't have any flux to clean it out, but that's fine. So we're just going to go ahead and let this get hot. Fill it full of solder.
I'm not going to get close this time because last time it splashed in my pool.
Well, last time you weren't wearing safety shoes.
And this time, I'm also not wearing safety shoes. I should put my little dino feet on that Buddy sent me.
You really should, yeah. So it's pretty simple little process there. Get a little solder in there. And then just kind of like that. Start heating this one up with this one. Cools. I'll wrap a little electrical tape on it for added safety. This will be a real nice connection. Your life's 1,000 times easier if you just do it properly the first time. And if you're trying to find like electrical gremlins or lights aren't working or like the fuel gauge and all that sort of stuff, man, I'll tell you, grounds make all the difference. Nice and hot. It's almost like the vise is soaking up half the heat. Who would have thought? So we're good to go. And there we go. We'll let that cool off.
I like how pretty it looks.
Yeah. Pretty. So there you go. It's a damn good connection.
A damn good connection.
It is. We'll tape up the ends, and then I go right to the edge there so nothing can touch it or get in the way of it. Really not as much of an issue on the ground, but on a 12 volt, like a positive, you will have that issue. Now this one we're going to do slightly different. We're in the two different ends I got. Not the same in the world. This is a 5/16, that's a 3/8. So I'm going to run 3/8 bolts and all into the frame. But the factory ground on the firewall is a 5/16. So we'll do 5/16 on one end, 3/8 on the other, and we'll build another one. We'll get those dialed right quick, and then we'll make, I'll do a positive one. We'll come back and show you what we're doing with that. And that's that, fun times.
Should we watch this one too?
No, we've seen enough. Okay, so I've been just kind of plugging away, getting a bunch of stuff done. I wired up the fan. It actually came with one like a little sensor there, but it's literally in a box that says auto parts. So I don't know, I didn't trust it. I wired it up just so it has power on 12 volt switched all the time.
Well, you like your fans.
I like them on, I gotta say. So we gotta do a few things. I mean, the fuel filter needs to be kind of, you know, I need a clamp for that. I kind of cleaned up a lot of the wiring. There's a little bit of goofiness here. This battery is reverso, so I need one that goes the other way around. Not the end of the world. So we got our wires and all that done. Everything's just retaped. Kind of took a bunch of stuff out. I think we're doing okay. Got the pulley on with the belt, so you can look on that side across, and it looks like pretty.
Oh, that looks way better.
Pretty straight. So that's good.
Don't forget your lights down there.
I have that because we're going to do the timing right quick. So now just the fan goes on with the key. It bumps. So that's all good. I'm going to pull the fuse on the fan real quick just because when we're doing the timing, it'll be... Well, I actually think it's going to blow my hair all over the place and be annoying, but maybe it'll affect the audio. So we'll just pull that fuse out. So now what we got, I'm going to put in, this is the distributor that was in it previous. So
Oh, it's much bigger than the one that you put in it.
So I have a coil, but I don't have a coil adapt, like a holder, and I don't have a coil wire and stuff. So for right now, we're going to do this. At the end of the day, to pull the distributor is nothing, and plunk that one in. Just, you know, we'll crank it, make a mark on the firewall where the, you know, the timing is, put it back in. It'll be like 3-minute job. And again, this though, well, I didn't tell you, but I told them. These are readily available. That is not. So if we do have a highway problem, this is a lot easier to deal with. So again, like usual, I've marked where number 1's going to be. So we're going to go ahead and whack this thing over. until we're at top dead center.
You can't use that one because you don't have the right part right now?
So yeah, this one takes an external coil, which I don't have. Well, I have, I just don't have. It has like a holder to put it on, and it'd just be nice to do it proper. And this...
Oh, I see. You weren't leaving that one in there right now.
No, I was just kind of in there to keep me motivated, you know?
Oh.
Sometimes
That's why I was confused in this whole conversation. Because I'm like, but that one was still in there. Why does any of this matter?
So now you want to bump it real quick with the key. I'd say you can put it on the tripod, but you've took my tripod mount off that.
I forgot to grab it. I saw it 3 times when I've gone inside today and just forgot.
Okay, bump it. Again. 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 Oh, so that's pretty much perfect. I can probably just pull this thing over by hand. Oh, I did. So now we've got, I don't know if this will show up on camera. Oh, it's probably too bright. The timing mark is right there, so we're probably 8 or 9 degrees advanced, but I can actually rotate this motor, the belt. So that's actually right at 0, which we don't really want. There we go. That's probably like 4 or 6 degrees advanced, we'll call it. Close enough that we can mess with it with the timing light. Now we gotta dump this thing in. So again, we want to have the rotor lined up with number 1 if we can. The problem with this deal is right up against the firewall. Okay. So, whoops, oh, this might actually just work. Oh, we're so close. The other one I think was going to fall into the oil pump, which never happens. Oh, no, it didn't. So where's the best amount of swing we're gonna have? Let's put it back 1 tooth. So we're just trying to mesh it in the camshaft there. Like I said, just try to mesh it in the camshaft.
This is your home.
What is going on?
This is your home.
It shouldn't be this difficult. We've done this 18 times.
You want me just to bump it till it falls in?
No, because we're a little off. This is not playing nice either. Is this the problem? This is, oh, there you go. That's. Now we went 1 too many that way. Hang on. How many ads did we put in there? Okay, that's good. So that's about that. So yeah, if you want to bump it, we'll drop it down. Bump it. Again. Perfect. Now we'll just double check the work we did.
Should I turn this off?
We should always turn it off, but we're actually going to bump it again.
Oh.
So hit it. Again. 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 It's coming up on it.
What's that air spray that happens?
That's the motor coming up on compression.
Oh.
Okay, so that right there is probably 8 degrees. So you can turn the key off.
I did.
Okay, so now come around here. So now what we can do, I gotta go actually get plug wires from inside. But the motor right now, the timing mark is at 8 degrees before top dead center. So now what we do, see how we have this mark on the distributor on the other side, maybe you can look. So the mark right there,
Yeah.
and it should be basically in line with the rotor. So now if we lock this distributor down and fire it up, it should be firing at 8 degrees before top dead center, ish, close enough. It'll close enough to run. So I am just have a few things in the paint booth. I made a throttle, yeah, it's raining in there. Anyways, I made a throttle return bracket, so we'll have to do that to there. The hold down, and then plug wires are inside. You wanna go find the plug wires?
Nope.
Did you unwrap them?
Probably not.
And then that should be enough to make this thing run. Oh, I gotta put the dipstick tube in.
I already went out in the pouring rain.
Yeah, it's terrible
It's
out
your
there.
turn.
So we'll put it all together, vacuum advance, hook it up, double check for some oil leaks. We'll double check, make sure it has enough oil in it. All I did was I changed the oil filter, so I put a little bit of oil in. It's full of coolant, it's not leaking, it's been like that for a couple hours. I think we're ready to fire this thing up and then see if the clutch works. So if it doesn't, we're putting her out there and getting struck by lightning. So we'll be right back with a few new parts. Okay, I think we got everything in. Plug wires are quite long, so we gotta get some way of looming them or whatever, zip ties, but it's all together. So in theory, it should start. We'll just make sure we have no fuel leaks or anything. Have you seen anything? The signal? We do have fire extinguisher in here, so we should be okay. And I had to adjust the timing, kind of eyeball it, so we'll see what happens. Feels like there's a little excess timing in it. We don't have any fuel. Do we have a jerry can? That might get things going a little quicker here. Ugh. This was some poor planning. Somebody put a shovel there. Do we have a little squirt bottle anywhere?
Got a bunch of water bottles.
We do have a bunch of water bottles, but it's not really what that is.
But it didn't smell like gas.
It smells like nothing. So I'm sure
There you
it's
go.
probably fine.
Surprised we even had a gas can there.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
walk off with it.
What?
Are you sure that other stuff wasn't gas?
Didn't smell like gas. Let's see if I can punch a hole in this with a screwdriver. Oh, my Leatherman on me for some reason.
Well, you dropped it and I put it on this shelf.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I should think it's in my other pants. Okay, let's just go ahead and fill the float bowl here. I think this gas looks like there's a little bit of water in it. Okay. A little in there. Okay. Hopefully it will not backfire too bad and cause a huge fire.
I'm just gonna stand back here.
Probably smart. We're good. Starter doesn't sound too happy. She needs a shim. It runs. It's not bad. Where are we going? Right on the mark, not bad. That's probably right on it. It actually runs like mint. 900 RPM. Oh, she might have a little water in it from when we were running it. Do we have any fuel leaks? No, it looks okay. We pressure washed it for like a little water and a little bit of it, but it should clear itself out, warm up. All sorts of junk in there. The exhaust must just be packed. Every time you rev it, it just dumps out a bunch of crap. It's weird how it's smoking white like that. Why would it do that? I don't know. Might just need to warm up a little, I guess. Little condensation. Oh, I guess we can see if the clutch works. Nice. See if that's reverse? Oh, it doesn't even chatter.
Yay!
Oh. Okay, so other than smoky a little bit there. Actually, this kind of smells like it's running a little rich, maybe, is the problem. Play with it a little bit. Where's John when you need him? Yeah, you really do. Yeah, they would show up. Okay, so we'll just... Okay, that's the tappiest on that side. What's going on over here? Okay. Not gonna lie, that fuel did, it had a little, where did I even put the bottle? It had a little kind of swirlies in it. Yeah, it's definitely got water in it. You can see it pooling at the bottom. Guess that's what happens when you store gas outside with no lid on it, eh? Who'd have thought?
During a rainstorm.
It only rained a little bit. Oh, Danielle. Okay. Seems like it's not as bad now. Yeah. You know what I think it needs? Just to be driven a little bit. We'll see what happens. I don't know what would cause it to smoke white like that for no real reason. It doesn't really smell like anything though, that you can stand in it. So it's almost like it's like water. That's weird. I don't know. Got for timing in it still. You can see the damn mark. Oh, I went the wrong way. So it's got 9 degrees in it initial. That's probably pretty stock. Well, charging 14.5 volts, so that's good. The thermometer gun. Does this one work? Battery dead. Well, let's let it run for a little bit. Sounds kind of thup boring. But like, look at all the junk it blows out of the exhaust all the time. Like, it's just...
Maybe the exhaust is just real dirty though from sitting for so long too.
It's gotta be something. It just seems crazy. Like, it's obviously not running crazy rich or anything. It's just kind of not happy. Let's give it a little more timing. It is a hot rod. What happened to this? Oh, it fell off? Well, yeah, I don't know. Seems alright. put a little mechanic in a can in it, maybe. I remember it wasn't smoking bad when we drove it last. That's weird. That's definitely, probably, I don't know, whatever. It's something. The exhaust is quiet though. I mean, really. We'll have to get Murr's expert opinion on the smell. I'm gonna run and grab the, we'll let it run for a minute. We'll just see what it's like. I'm gonna grab the thermometer, see where it kind of stops off, and drive it on the next one. The weather's terrible, but it's a runner. So it's been running for a while. I mean, it's not super hot out, obviously. The hood's off, but cylinder heads are holding at like 140-ish degrees. Just even kick the thermostat open. Yeah. Well, it's definitely warm to the touch. I mean, it's not even smoking that bad like the motor anyways. So let's let it kind of run. We'll let the paint kind of bake on, do its thing. It still smokes. It must just be oil, I guess, a little bit or something. Needs a little bit of, we'll put some Lucas in it or something. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still kind of there.
Before though, you would do it, it would instantly pour.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll let it run for a bit. Like I said, maybe we got some kind of water and junk in it or whatever, and we got to do some checking. Maybe like this intake, I should go check everything. Maybe it's leaking a little bit of water or something like that. It's burning a little bit of, you know, smoking a little bit of coolant or something. But it doesn't smell too crazy or nothing like that. But, you know, sitting there idling, you know, 750, 800 RPM, no problem. The valve train quieted down. This thing, when it sits for a bit, it makes a little bit of noise, so it's happy. I mean, realistically.
Yeah, I just got, that guy's so good at backing his thing into his little garage there.
Yeah. It probably needs an oil change too, actually. I checked the oil and it was good, but maybe some water got in it or whatever. It's just kind of not happy there, so. We'll leave it there for today. I'll get stuff for oil change tomorrow, and hopefully the weather will break. We can put the hood on it, and next video is this thing driving. But I mean, the clutch is good, charges, it's not leaking gas or anything. I mean, honestly, it did kind of come completely apart, so who knows, but we'll just go ahead. It smells a little bit like coolant, but yeah. Okay, so oil change tomorrow, and really, I guess we should be good.
Back to driving.
Yeah, this thing is like ready to go. Oh yeah, it's definitely got some moisture and it's kind of smoking, so I guess maybe if we pull the stick now, it might be a little milkshakey. So it was sitting before I pulled it, it looked fine. I was like, shouldn't be. Like when I washed it, I made sure the carburetor was covered, the intake, you know, everything on the sides and all that, but probably got a little bit of water in there, so maybe that's what it is. We'll go ahead and say, we'll hope anyways. Oil change, Lucas. I should tighten down the distributor before I forget, because I will, in fact, forget. And plug wire hold downs. Is there anything else I said I needed? Maybe I'll run an air filter on this one. What do you think? Nah. Actually, I still have that one that the guy sent me for the Biscayne, that big, the big dog. So yeah, we'll get that all set up. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm kind of hungry. Maybe we'll put an overflow on this thing. It looks, I feel like there was more junk in here before when we were driving it. Now it just seems like it's like a done good car. What a concept. Get yourself a auction fine Nomad. Just buy it. You'll love it. And worst case, if the motor is junk,
all you have to do is make sure you pay the interest.
We'll give it to, oh yeah, the interest is fine. John and Cecil whip motor together for us right quick, right? No big deal. But thanks so much for watching. As always, please leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you wouldn't mind. Check out the merch at ddspeedshop.ca. Danny is working hard at it. She's hustling away. Huh, are those the wheels that are on the 56 right now? I want to bring this car home. I like driving this car. I should crush that one. But this one,
crush all of these except for this one.
Is it self-centered to wear a shirt with your own cars on it? I feel like a real a-hole sometimes. Like, why is there 2 Nomads in your shirt? Well, I own them both. The credit union owns half of one, but whatever, it's fine. Okay, thank you very much for watching, as always. And half of, well, whatever. We paid for the black one when we got it in cash. $3 grand. I had that money, I tell you.
Sure did.
So there you go. My worries about the clutch are gone. Maybe the next time I won't even think about it, but I'm excited to drive this thing now. And actually, it felt nice in the linkage and all. I mean, it's all clean and junk, so oil it, call it a day. See you on the next one.